racing already. Bruce and Martin, you coming up there from Liberal? You're going to have to get the heck out of Dodge.
In its storied history, Dodge City, Kansas has seen more than its fair share of outlaws, but none as fast as these guys. If there was ever a place perfectly suited to host the World of Outlaw sprint cars, Dodge City is it. Rich in the U.S. history of the Old West, Dodge City is a territory once blanketed by gun-toting outlaws. Tonight, the Outlaws tote horsepower at the fantastic Dodge City Raceway Park, site for round 2 in the super clean Summer of Money. Hello, everyone, and welcome in. I'm Bobby Gerald alongside Brad Doty, a member of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. And Brad, at Dodge City Raceway Park, the World of Outlaws have been coming here since 2004. Not a lot of races to work with, only 5 when you look back at the previous work done here. Is 5 races enough for these guys to have this place figured out?
Well, the World of Outlaws race so often, Bobby, as you know, that they can go into anywhere, maybe even for the first time. And after a few laps and hot laps, they've got it figured out. And yeah, they have this place figured out.
Let's look at the Mahindra Tractor's track fact and tell you a little bit more about this facility. 3/8 of a mile, and what else?
Well, it's 8 to 12 degrees through the corners, means it's progressive banking up the corners. But they've reworked the racetrack, Bobby. Earlier we had some rain. They kept the track hard, and they were worried about rubber down, so they've retailed the track, and you see some push trucks out there working the racetrack back in. It's always a guessing game on a dirt track, but boy, the weather's kind of thrown everybody for a loop here.
Well, the 5th of the 5 races at this facility was last night, and last night it was Jason Myers who ended up getting the win. Let's take a look at the highlights from last night's action. At the start of the feature event, Jason Myers and Donnie Schatz on the front row, and you watch Stevie Smith in the purple and yellow car have a little bit of trouble as he kind of drifts up the track. But watch what happens in our next highlight. Look at the left of your screen, and there's trouble for Kerry Madsen.
The axle actually broke on the left rear corner as he got into the fence there in turns 3 and 4. He was okay, but out of the race.
On lap number 12, Donnie Schatz tracked down Myers in traffic and actually drove around him. But turnabout is fair play. And 4 laps later, it was Myers driving underneath Donnie Schatz to take the lead, and he went on for the win, his 3rd of the season, Brad.
Sure did, and put it on him as there Schatz back underneath of him, but Myers was able to pull away a little bit toward the end.
Well, Jason Myers, as good as he was last night, he has already struggled in time trials in the early going earlier tonight. Really had a problem out there. Just couldn't seem to get the horsepower down on that number 14 car, fighting a very difficult racetrack as well.
Well, again, we talked about it. It was really dry, slick, and the track was slicking off, cars sliding around a little bit.
Well, earlier, Sean Buckley, the 3rd member of our broadcast team, caught up with Myers.
In the last 9 races, Jason Myers has not finished outside the top 10. He won here last night. Jason, is it good old-fashioned preparation here and hard work, or is it luck?
Well, I think you make your luck. You know, these guys do a great job every week, DJ and Brian. You know, whether we're winning or losing, they're working hard every week. And for this entire elite racing team and Primerica and GLR, it's been paying off finally. And, you know, they put the work in no matter what, and I'm just happy to see it paying off for them.
Got a good crew, good race car here tonight. Obviously, you want the win here tonight. You want to sweep this Boot Hill Showdown, but it's got to take a lot of work here tonight. How's qualifying?
Well, I've dug one heck of a hole here tonight. But, you know, a great run last night, getting the victory, and terrible qualifying tonight. I don't know. I mean, we just did everything wrong. So going to be a show tonight. Hopefully we can come from the back. Maybe we're just trying to get camera time. I don't know. But we're going to have to do what we can to get to the front here at Dodge City tonight and take this elite racing car back to the front, hopefully.
Jason Myers is going to have to boot, scoot, boogie to the front here tonight.
Well, apparently Buckley is a country music fan. They're dropping the boot, scoot, and boogie references. Let's go to our Q Oil's top qualifier of the night, and it's fitting that it is the big Q, number 11, Steve Kinzer. Brad, what was good about his lap?
Well, he got out early. The racetrack did slow down the later the racing got here, but he got out early. The car was hooked up. He ran nice straight laps. set quick time.
13.236 seconds here around this 3/8 mile oval and 102 miles per hour on average. It was the first time this year that Steve Kinzer has been the quick qualifier. Of course, the King has 7 feature event wins on the World of Outlaws season. Right now, he sits in 6th place in the point standings. Sean Buckley caught up with the King as well down in the pits earlier.
Well, the track definitely slowed down a little bit. It's got hard. Let's just hope it don't lay any rubber down. They got the equipment here to come out and sort of loosen it back up if they need to. Whether they'll do it or not, I don't know. But I don't know. This at least quick time's been on. Of course, I haven't had this first one I think I've had this year, but I've been getting a lot of thirds, fourths, and fifths with the format's been killing me. But we'll see what happens tonight.
Heat race number 1. Here are the highlights. Steve Kinzer and Tim Schaefer having a good battle, Brad.
Steve puts the slider on there, gets by clean. You can see Schaefer turn the car. We get another look at it here. Right there, Schaefer turned it, trying to get back under, but Kinzer able to hold him off in the second spot.
That was a big move by Steve. Danny Lasowski goes on to win heat race number 1. In heat race number 2, Darren Pittman on the outside of the front row in the black 21. Jason Sowell, the R19 on the inside of the front row. Everyone fighting for their own real estate here. The top 6 advanced in the heat races. And making a move was Kerry Madsen in the orange car on the top of the screen there, the 11H. He gets by Jason Myers into a transfer position. The Madman from Australia looking good in the 11H car. Darren Pittman, though, was the best in heat race number 2. In heat race number 3, Brad, Donnie Schatz got out to a quick start, but Jack Hottenschild fought him.
Yeah, Hottenschild struggling a little bit. The car looks loose right there. Gives him a chance to open the door for Jason Martin, who gets right there, slide job, gets by and finds himself into the dash now in the 36 car.
And that was a big move for Jason Martin, the hitman as he's known. One of the best moves of the night, though, was right here when Jeremy Campbell went underneath Chad Hillier. That was a battle for a transfer spot.
Car working very well. The Tennessee car driving right straight out to the corner.
But the story in heat race number 3 was Jason Martin, the driver of the 36 car, only 83 miles from his front porch to the racetrack here in Dodge City. A lot of family and friends here, and he picked up a new helmet, which he told Sean Buckley about after the race.
It's really special for me to come back home right now. Just about a year ago and a month to the day, one of my best friends in high school, my wife's best friend all through our growing up, got killed on his way to his wedding. So I had my helmet painter, Noah Enos, painted my helmet to commemorate him with his firefighter logo and stuff on it. So that's real important to me, and it's just nice to be back here at home.
10 cars, 8 laps. The way they finish is
the World of Outlaws Super Clean Summer of Money's coming up in just a moment. We will set the first 5 rows for the feature. Donnie Schatz will be sharing the front row with Darren Pittman. Stay tuned. Back at Dodge City Raceway Park, let's go down quickly into the pits with Sean Buckley. He's got some news on Donnie Schatz.
Yeah, Donnie won heat race number 3. However, he cut the right rear tire, something on the racetrack. So they came back into the pit area. His father, Danny, got out the old trusty patch kit. They put a plug into the right rear, and that is the right rear they're running right now, guys.
Thank you, Sean, for the report. And so there's Donnie Schatz on the front row of our Crane Cams dash alongside of Darren Pittman. Row 2, it's the King, Steve Kinzer, alongside Jason Solwald. In row number 3, the Dude, Danny Lasowski and Joey Saldana in the number 9 car. The 24 of Terry McCarl, the 3X of Chad Kimonaugh in row 4, and Tim Schaefer and Jason Martin in row 5. Let's talk about shots here, though, Brad. What do you do there when you have a plugged right rear tire? How will it affect it?
Well, he's going to block it out of his mind. It's only 6-lap race, so they're in good shape. They can change the tire after this dash. But look at that.
Woo-hoo! Some close racing up front. Darren Pittman slides in front of the 15 car, and you are on board the on-car camera with Darren Pittman in car number 21, and the yellow flag is out. I don't know. Maybe they didn't like the start?
Yeah, I don't know if they didn't like the start. We'll try to get a call here and see why everybody's still rolling on the racetrack. So I think there's 2 lines down coming out of turn 4, and they have to start in that box. Yep. Now they're going to move Donnie Schatz back. This is big. They say he jumped the start, and they're moving him back 1 row and put Steve Kinzer up there. We're going to go green.
And trying to go green just like that, and now a jumbled start. Steve Kinzer wasn't up to the right pace. You got to question that. Why would they try to start that race that quickly after 1 lap?
And Jason Sowald right there ran over the back of somebody, bounced the front end up in the air, and they're staying green.
Well, that was not a very good start for everybody out there involved. whatever the case is, we stay green. And out in front, it is Darren Pittman, followed by Joey Saldana. Darren Pittman looking good in the lead in that 21 car. On board with Pittman.
Good shot of the right rear tire. You watch how close he might get to the wall, running down the straightaway.
Well, it was a jumbled start. They moved Kinzer up to the front row, but I would have thought maybe they'd take one more parade lap before they went green. That was not the case. And you know what? Hey, when you see the green flag, you better be ready to race, and Darren Pittman was. He's out in front.
And look at that, pulling away from him right, let's see. The 9 car got into second. Now look at this battle here. Steve Kinzer, Jason Sowald to the inside.
It'll be interesting to see the reaction of some of the drivers after this one. They may have something to say about that crazy start. We're already 5 laps into our dash. We should also reinforce that the way they finish here in the dash will determine the first 5 rows of tonight's feature event and how they start.
And that's why they're going to be, as you said, some fired up drivers, because this race is so critical. Probably not very, and Steve Kinzer, I don't think the start's the problem. The car looks like it's really loose, but he has fallen way back in the front row.
Jason Sowald jumped, I believe, up over the rear end of another car at the beginning of this race. Tim Schaefer has dropped off of the racetrack and taken his car to the pits. So Darren Pittman is out in front. He'll get the white flag here in just a second. He's already received the white flag.
You can see the right rear, that camera aimed at his right rear as he goes down the back straightaway, one more corner.
So Darren Pittman from Owasso, Oklahoma, only about 5 hours here as far as a tow goes, gets the win in our Crane Cams Dash. He will be the pole setter for tonight's feature event. Joey Saldana finishes in the number 2 spot. Then it's Donnie Schatz, Jason Sowald, Steve Kinzer, Terry McCarl, then Kemenal, Lasowski, and Martin. Darren Pittman, the winner of the Crane Cams Dash, getting it done, a healthy win. That one about 3 seconds. And let's go back and take a look at the start of the race.
See if we can figure out what exactly happened here.
There's Kinzer kind of moving into position, and they're rolling into turn number 4. This is a point where you usually think, okay, we're going to go one more lap around before we get a green. The 2 front row guys looked ready, but look at behind them. Sowald jumps over Kinzer. Donnie Schatz Saldana's looking for somewhere to go.
Yeah, that was Sowald getting over Steve Kinzer's right rear, so maybe it cut it. We talked about Donnie Schatz. He may have cut Kinzer's right rear tire, and that may be why he backed up in the dash.
So Darren Pittman heads to the pits with the knowledge that he will sit on the pole for tonight's feature event. We'll be back with more from Dodge City Raceway Park. It's the Super Clean Summer of Money on ESPN2. Dodge City, where you can take a ride on the stagecoach, the Boot Hill Stage Line, as our drivers did earlier this morning. It was a couple of Kansas natives. Jason, the Hitman Martin, there with the sunglasses on, and Tony, the Wizard Bruce, taking our resident Conan O'Brien lookalike Terry McCarl for a ride on the coach. They had a lot of fun, I think.
Oh, my back. That wasn't bad. Nice job of driving. Now you get to come and drive one of their sprint cars tonight. Yeah? Come on out. 18 or 36? 36. Okay, we decided 36. I think it's too big to fit in this.
Well, let's go back and see if anybody had fun here in the dash. I don't know. It looked like there might be some guys angry about the start of this one. Let's see what happened. It looked like the 11 car just didn't take off.
Well, you see the lines there where they cannot start till they get to those lines. And yeah, it looked like Steve Kinzer's car just didn't accelerate when he got to that line, and it bottled everybody up behind. Jason Sowald gun up over Kinzer's right rear with his left front. Almost got into the side watch here. Look at the 9 car, the yellow car on the outside, how close that was to almost going over the right front of Jason Sowald.
So Darren Pittman gets the win in the dash. He will be on the pole tonight, followed by Joey Saldana, Donnie Schatz. Jason Sowald, despite that wild start, finishes in the 4th position. And you see on down the line, that's the way they will line up the first 5 rows. Well, let's find out a little bit more about what was going on there with that hectic start down to the pits. And Sean Buckley. Sean, any of the drivers have anything to say?
It is pure craziness down here. Donnie Schatz, unbuckled from his race car, ran all the way down to the Outlaws Media Center, started yelling at everybody, asking them what's going on. Well, they didn't really get it resolved. Also, crew chief Leonard Lee, the R19 driver of Jason Sowald, they were down there chewing off the ears of Outlaw officials. But once again, you know what? They didn't get it resolved. So these drivers going out for the main event, and that's what we have right now. So very confused guys down here in Victory Lane, or excuse me, on pit road.
Well, Sean, I guess the official ruling stands on the racetrack, right?
That's the official rule. It's a dead deal there. It's a done situation. Steve Kinzer, his cars wouldn't run at all. He had some problems there coming off of turn 4. The car wouldn't go, and that was kind of causing some confusion. So the dash was a little shaky, but they got it done, and now they just got to go with it.
Well, that's what started the mess then. Steve Kinzer's car wouldn't take off. But I guess from what we hear, Donnie Schatz and Sowald's crew chief were so livid because they felt like the officials should have thrown the caution flag and restarted the event, correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Brad. They should have thrown the caution. They should have stacked everybody up, lined them up. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see that. And that's just the way it goes sometimes.
That is. And, you know, like we said before, it was the same for everybody out there. I mean, once the green flag flew, credit to the drivers who were ready to go. You know, some of them may have thought, hey, we need another lap, but credit to the guys that were ready.
Well, they gathered their thoughts and went back to racing. And, you know, the World of Outlaws officials had to make a split decision, and they went with left the green flag out, and that's what they had to deal with.
That's the way it goes. Dodge City, Kansas is in southwest Kansas. Of course, a part of the Old West frontier. The long-time old-time radio and television Western drama program Gunsmoke was set in Dodge City. Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday once took up residence in Dodge City in the 1870s. And what a fitting place to have a World of Outlaws powered by Q event here in Dodge City, a place where the Outlaws once roamed. Coming up next Sunday, it's the World of Outlaws powered by Q Super Clean Summer of Money round number 3. The Duel in the Dakotas, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 for those of you out on the West Coast. Make sure and mark your calendars. Tell a friend, phone the neighbors, wake the kids. The World of Outlaws, definitely worth viewing. Busy pits right now at Dodge City Speedway, and one of the drivers who's going to be featured prominently in our feature event starting on the pole tonight is Darren Pittman. He was the first American to win the World Series Sprint Car title. He did that in 2002, 2003. The 28-year-old is skilled and also a little bit lucky.
You know, everybody always says that the best opportunities just come at being at the right place at the right time, and to be honest with you, it was never more true.
The year was 2001. Pittman was in Australia and had just completed a 4-race run for a local owner. Though he'd done well, that relationship ended and Darren was without a ride.
I was looking at it, yeah. I mean, I knew I would never be getting out of racing, but was, you know, obviously for the short term, was looking for something because there was no rides available. I had no options. I'd burn up the phone with every ride that I thought that was available. A couple things fell through, and I'd made plans to come home and just go to work for my dad. I mean, he's got an auto salvage yard in Tulsa, and I'd fully expected to go home and you know, try to do that until something came available. And what was going to be available was not going to be, you know, very good at that time.
But then along came Australian owner Reeve Kruk, who saw Darren win what was supposed to be his final Australian start before coming home to the U.S.
And at the time, I'd just sacked my son. He was driving the 36 car.
Basically, Reeve had said that he was going to sell everything and get out. And he happened to be there that night just watching as a spectator, and came down afterwards and basically said he changed his mind, that he wasn't going to quit, that he wanted me to stay and run a few more races.
A few more races has grown into what is now a very successful 6-year relationship, much to Darren's surprise.
90% of the time, or 95% of the time, you know, the son always ends up back in the car, and Drew and Reeve now actually get along better than they ever have. They are starting to race again a little bit, but Drew doesn't want to come over here and do this. This is not his interest. Reeves accepted that, and they get along great, and honestly, it's just worked out to be an ideal situation for me, for him, and for his son, too.
They're really nice people to work with. His family are really good people. I mean, in this sort of business, you spend more time with them than you do with your wife. So, you know, you really have to get on well, and everybody's got to gel together, and they do. They do a good job.
There'd be a lot of people who'd be begging to drive for my car owner over there and over here both, and like I said, just right place, right time, and we're just lucky enough to be the person to be there.
Well, there you see Pittman ranked 4th in the standings with Jason Myers only 4 points behind him there after the win last night. But Pittman has a chance to really distance himself from Myers tonight with a good run starting from the pole.
Yeah, we did hear that Jason Myers does have a provisional and will be tagging the tail of the field. But yeah, good chance for Pittman to gain a lot of points over Jason Myers.
You might also notice Steve Kinzer there, ranked 6th, but with 7 feature event wins. Steve really hasn't had a lot of great moments so far during the television schedule, but the rest of the time he's been flying.
He's been kind of flying under the radar, you know, and as you can see right there, 7 wins equal to the top 2 guys. But he's been very inconsistent this year. A lot of breakdowns, a lot of flat tires, just crazy things happening to the Steve Kinzer team.
Well, we'll see how the King's going to fare in tonight's final. The feature event is coming up. It's the World of Outlaws powered by Q. Super Clean Summer of Money, race number 2. Welcome back to the Boot Hill Showdown presented by MJE. Race number 2 in the Super Clean Summer of Money from Dodge City Raceway Park. The fans are getting ready right now for one of the great moments in motorsports, and that is when we turn it over to the voice of the World of Outlaws, the announcer. He hits every race on the series, Johnny Gibson, and this is what he says traditionally to start them off.
Dodge City, Kansas, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
And the fans at Dodge City ready for this one. 30 laps is the distance. Let's get to the grid. Darren Pittman and Joey Saldana, you saw them in the Crane Cam's dash. They will be sharing the front row. In row number 2, World of Outlaws, powered by Q Points leader Donnie Schatz in the Snap-on car tonight, not in the familiar yellow and gold. Tonight he's got the red and black going. We move on back through the field. Steve Kinzer and Terry McCarl. A little bit deeper, Chad Kimenaw and Danny Lasowski. Anybody you see on there, Brad, that you'd like to highlight?
Well, Jack Hodenshield right there, maybe a little disappointed. Started in the front of the heat race, had a good chance to finish in the top 2, maybe make it in the dash and maybe get a good starting spot, and they struggled a little bit in the heat race, and now they're back in 12th spot.
You see the lineup all the way back. We want to go down to the pits and bring in Sean Buckley for a last-minute report. Sean, what's the latest?
One of the biggest stories right now has to be last night's winner. The 14 of Jason Myers takes a provisional here in the main event, and he's got a long way to go. One driver nipping on his heels is Darren Pittman. Pittman, 4th or 5th in the points, and he's looking to gain some much-needed ground here tonight, guys.
No question about it. That'll be something to keep an eye on. Jason Myers trying to come all the way from the back. Brad, you have a favorite here. The outside front row has been kind of the preferred starting spot so far tonight. That would favor Joey Saldana up front in the open choice number 9.
Well, again, if the engines take off, no stumbling like maybe we saw Steve Kinzer, that's going to be critical. But guys, it wouldn't surprise me if they split. When they come out of turn 4, Joey goes high, Pittman's going to go low. They're going to try to get those rear tires on the brown part of the racetrack you see there. Not a lot of brown up there for Joey Saldana, but see who can get the jump. But Darren Pittman, I bet you right now, starting on the pole, he's not worried about the points he may gain on Jason Myers. He wants to just try to win this race.
And also, you know, let's keep in mind Donnie Schatz. What's going on there with the plug tire on the number 15
Well,
car?
again, for the main event, they can put a new tire on. That was just up through all the preliminary races. So that's out of his mind right now, and hopefully he's settled down. He was fired up. We heard Sean Buckley say earlier. But again, he's been fast. We cannot count him out.
So Donnie Schatz in that number 15 car. On the outside of him is Jason Sowold in the R19 as we get set for a start here. They roll through turn number 3. Darren Pittman setting the pace. On the outside, Joey Saldana. They come up to the double white chalk lines, and the green is in the air. We're racing at Dodge City. Darren Pittman gets the jump into turn number 1. Saldana also got a good start, and Terry McCarl shoots down the back chute in 3rd.
Well, Schatz got stuck in the middle of the racetrack and got passed by 2 or 3 cars on the inside and outside. But on the start, we saw Joey Saldana go to the top like I predicted. It looked bad for him. Looked like he was going to get passed, but he gained it back in 1 and 2 and found himself in 2nd spot.
And the king of the Outlaws, Steve Kinzer, moves in front of Donnie Schatz as well. Kinzer up into the 4th position in the number 11 machine.
Boy, a big surprise for Donnie Schatz there. Something missing on that car, whether the chassis set up or whatever, but he's got a lot of wheel spin, but he is falling back through the field.
Down on the bottom while a bunch of the guys are up top. There's Schatz right in front of Danny Lasowski in the number 83 car. Oh, that was close between Lasowski and Jason Martin. You got a quick look at the 36.
You know, we're talking about the points between Jason Myers and Darren Pittman. Don't forget, Joey Saldana running 2nd points. Donnie Schott's leading. Schott's falling back through the field, and see Saldana up front. Is a great battle going on here.
That is a battle for 7th. Jason Martin just put a slider on Danny Lasowski. The crowd pleaser Craig Delansky's in the picture. Chad Kimenow down low in the white and blue, number 3X there. The 4th car on your screen. Good stuff. Jason Martin, that NOS Energy drink number 36, right up against the wall. They are running right on the fence, Brad.
Well, look at the racetrack, Bob. It's black. Through the middle, it's slick. They got a top, they got a bottom groove. Some of the guy right now, looks like the top of the racetrack is the fast line because the momentum, the speed is still up on the racetrack. So that carries the car up there, and everybody kind of running the top. Some of the guys on the bottom trying to use patience and get down there and try to get a hold of that brown dirt on the bottom.
A battle for 10th right there between Craig Delansky and Jack Hodenschild. That seems to be sorting itself out now. And we go back up front, and it's Darren Pittman, your leader, approaching traffic for the first time. There's Jason Myers, the black 14 car, about to go down a lap to the leader of the race, the 21 of Darren Pittman.
But look how dominant he is, going by on the outside, 2 or 3 lap cars there of Hannigan on the bottom. Now he gets by Myers down the back straightaway.
You ride with Darren Pittman there momentarily. Pittman in the 21 car in front. He did already put the 14 car down a lap. You saw Stevie Smith and Randy Hannigan in the picture. They have both fallen down a lap as well.
Great shot on board with Darren Pittman there. You can see that big old right rear tire as he goes through the corners, trying to put a... Oh, boy.
That's where you earn your money in the world of Outlaws powered by Q, is in racing, in traffic.
Yep, and he lost a lot of ground there, but he's far enough ahead. You don't even see Joey Saldana, the 2nd place car, in the picture there. But when you slide up across the racetrack and don't clear the car, you're stuck in the slick part of the racetrack, and that's what happened to him there.
So right now we watch Pittman working traffic, dealing with Jason Sides now. He was up high. He had to dive down low very quick.
Big crossover move there. He looked like he was going to try to go to the outside, and he ducked to the inside, put the slider up on Jason Sides.
And the yellow flag is out. Trouble, oh no, for the 36 of Jason Martin, the Liberal Kansas driver, has come to a stop at the end of the back straightaway right before the pit entrance. And Jason Martin was working in 11th position on the very last lap. At one point, he was up even a little bit higher than that, battling for 7th or 8th.
Yes, he was. He fell back a couple of spots, but that may be because whatever the problem is, he was falling back through the field.
So they're going to put Jason Martin, push him to the pits. And we will take the break. When we come back, more action here. Plenty of time to go. Still 20 laps to go here. It's the World of Outlaws, powered by Q. Race number 2 in the super clean Summer of Money. It's the Boot Hill Showdown from Dodge City Raceway Park with Darren Pittman, your leader, Joey Saldana, Terry McCarl, Jason Sowell, and Tim Schaefer in the top 5.
The line got cut down there.
30 seconds running.
Back at the Boot Hill Showdown presented by MJE. Let's go to the pits. Sean Buckley's down there with Jason Martin.
Yeah, Jason Mars, he just gets under here in the 2-minute time limit. They had a power steering line that got cut out there and actually drained all the fluid out of the power steering reservoir. So a very tough break for the 36 of the Hitman, Jason Martin. Very weird accident. Brad, you ever see something like that?
Well, it depends on what cut it or if a fitting blew out. But the key there is, I think, we talked about him falling back a couple of positions. Well, if he had no power steering, it's no wonder, because if you've ever tried to turn your car with the engine shut off, that's what these cars feel like with no power steering fluid. But did they get the problem fixed? If they just put a Band-Aid on it, you could see putting fluid back in it. Just don't know if it's going to last or not. That's the issue.
Well, Jason Martin, one of 2 drivers from Liberal, Kansas, and you know, how wild is this? The whole population of Liberal, Kansas is 684 people, Brad.
Oh, wow.
We've got 2 of them on the World of Outlaws circuit, you know, in Jason Martin and Tony Bruce. So a little bit weird that both of those guys would be World of Outlaws drivers coming from such a small town. And this, as we mentioned earlier, the closest they get to race at home. Both of them were nice enough to help us out with our teas a little bit earlier in the program to start us off tonight.
Absolutely.
So we're getting set to go back to green. Plenty of time here for some good racing to unfold. Darren Pittman takes back off with the lead, followed by Joey Saldana. They take the lap cars out of the picture here and put them to the rear of the field. So Saldana has a free shot at Darren Pittman. It's Pittman, Saldana, and then running in the number 3 spots, the big game 3 stands at Terry McCarl. McCarl's starting to string together some nice runs.
He's getting from 6th. There's a good battle. Tim Schaefer and Jason Sowell passed each other a couple times in the previous lap. They're still going at it.
The number 6 car is Tim Schaefer. Schaefer won a race here last year. Different sanctioning body. And Jason Sowell in the R19 car, also showing that he can get around here, the native of Mount Vernon, Washington. Just behind them, you saw the big Q number 11 looming.
Well, look at that. We talked about the bottom line, the top line, the way these cars are running around there, and we saw two distinct lines there, but now that they're back up to speed, oh, Steve Kinser trying to get under, but what happens there, again, slide up, you're in that black part of the racetrack, he had to get out of the throttle and let Jason Sowell go back by on the outside. He got back up on the cushion, now he'll try it again.
Jason Martin, by the way, did exit the racetrack, so you were right. It was just a Band-Aid. He's already taken that 36 car back to the pits. We keep up with the battle now between Sowell and Steve Kinser. Donnie Schatz working right behind him. Saw Schatz go from the bottom, drive across the racetrack. Is he in search and find mode there?
Well, he is, but look, it's going to cost. I think what he did, he missed the bottom. See Glasowski to the inside of him. He went in behind Steve Kinser, maybe got in a little faster than he thought, and he slid up out of that groove and lost some ground.
And the caution flag is out on the speedway. Some trouble for Zach Chappell running down the front straightaway into turn number 1 in the 8K car. Some more troubles for Zach. Don't know what the problem is there, but it looks like he's obviously out of power, Brad.
Yeah, we talked about Justin Henderson earlier, just weird things happening and bad luck. And Zach Chappell, we've been documenting that too. He's been having a horrible year as far as luck's concerned.
So let's take a look at the graphic for your leaders right now. Darren Pittman. There he is, Joey Saldana running in second. Terry McCarl, Tim Schaefer having that good run from 10th up to 4th. How about the crowd pleaser, Craig Delansky, as you look back to 9th, from 16th to 9th right now, and that's crowd pleasing, Brett.
Absolutely it is. Putting on a charge from the back, and he's probably not done yet.
So you saw the standings. Brad, this racetrack started out as a pavement racetrack. It was not always dirt. They've since dug up the pavement.
Actually put dirt down, and the fans, or the people of the town here, voted for the dirt, and it's kind of unique because they're the taxpayers. This racetrack is owned by the city. Those taxpayers wanted a dirt racetrack, and that's what they got. So since 2004, the World of Outlaws have been sanctioning races here at the Dodge City Raceway Park. As we talked about a little bit earlier, there have been 5 different races so far. Steve Kinser was a winner here in 2004. Danny Lasowski swept events in 2005. Joey Saldana was the winner here last year, and last night, of course, it was Jason Myers, as we've referenced several times during the program. So Darren Pittman getting set for a restart now with Joey Saldana nipping on his heels. Sean Buckley, what's the word from the pits?
Well, the word from the pits right now, the 8K of Zach Chappell pulls in here. The fuel pump has gone bad, so they're starving the motor for fuel. And right now he's got his father down in there trying to switch it out, guys. And I don't know if we're going to make the change here in the 2-minute time limit.
Yeah, I don't think that's a 2-minute fix right there to change the fuel pump. I'd be surprised if they can get back out.
Well, Zach Chappell, the Oklahoma driver, 25 years of age, ran a handful of ARCA races, so he's raced on pavement and dirt.
Yeah, trying some different things, and but back to what he loves, I think, sprint car racing here. It's great to see him on the World of Outlaws circuit.
Well, they might think they have some kind of fix. You see the urgency there with Zach saying, come on, let's go. They got a push truck behind him. Of course, all these sprint cars have to be push started, Brad.
Yeah, they're holding him because they're going to wait until the field goes by. There they go. But I'm surprised, again, if they change the fuel pump. They may maybe change the fitting or a line or check something, but to change the fuel pump, wow, that's remarkable.
Zach Chappell, man, it's been a rough year for Zach so far in 2007, his rookie year with the World of Outlaws, and he's seen his share of frustration and bad luck in this rookie campaign. That was Eldora Speedway early in the year. Another look at this one, and we go to Williams Grove. Upside down there as well, Brad.
And you notice he got caught up in these messes. None of these so far were his making. Same thing there. Car gets sideways in front of him. He had no place to go.
Zach, we were thinking maybe he had a bad luck hat. He was wearing this old dirty red hat for a long time. He's since thrown that thing away.
Well, actually, I think he told me signing he's going to give it to you. But
yeah, so, that's what I heard too. He came up to me in the pits at Knoxville and said, I got a hat for you. I don't know if that was a very good Oklahoma accent there for Zach. He probably won't appreciate that, but he did have the brand new good-looking hat on the last time we saw him.
So picking on his hat, he signed it, and you get to keep it.
Yeah, exercising those demons. We are ready for a restart here, about a half a lap away. Darren Pittman starting to bring up the pace. What's going through his mind right now?
I'm thinking he's probably liking these cautions, getting him free of lap traffic, because every restart so far he's been able to get away from Joey Saldana.
Joey Saldana right behind him. Joey driving the car owned by NASCAR superstar Casey Kane, the open choice number 9. Tim Schaefer down on the bottom in the red 6. Going to take a spot away from Terry McCarl. McCarl with a big run down the back straightaway, dives into turn number 3, and that race is not over yet.
Now there again, that's a slide job that Tim Schaefer tried to turn the car and get back under him. Just didn't work at that point.
Looking out of the back of Terry McCarl's car. How cool is that shot?
That is awesome. Shows how close they get to the wall down the front straightaway here. Now they're headed down the back. Actually, the front straightaway's still there, okay.
Jason Sowell to the inside of Donnie Schatz, flinging a slider on the Schatz man. And Schatz got him right back, it looked like.
Same deal, just all Schaefer turned the car, was able to get a run back to the inside of it.
So good action out there right now. These drivers putting on a show for the 3,500 fans that have crammed into the grandstands here at this state-of-the-art facility. Here comes Sowell back with Donnie Schatz. That is a battle for 6th position, and give it to Jason Sowell for a second.
And these are the races up right here. Again, Pittman was able to get away from Saldana. He's still the leader, but the racing's right here. These guys sliding back and forth with each other.
The crowd pleaser slides underneath Donnie Schatz. That was too close for comfort.
And the track is the way the World of Outlaws drivers like it. They like slick through the middle with a nice cushion, a little bit of dirt around the bottom where they can maybe get a hold of, and they can put those slide jobs on each other corner after corner.
Darren Pittman's lead, 1.8 seconds right now over Joey Saldana at the front of the field. Pittman now in traffic, though, and that's going to shorten up that lead. You saw how close that was right there, nearly getting into Jason Sides and Stevie Smith.
Those are lap cars, so Stevie Smith trying to get back by. That's not the position, but now Pittman does clear him. Momentum back around the top. You did see a shot of Joey Saldana in the picture there, but now Pittman again starting to pull away down the back straightaway.
Darren Pittman, a little more than 6 laps left in this one as he continues to lead. And the Titan Garages number 21, owned by the Australian car owner Reeve Kruk.
And out front like this, sometimes leading the race from the get-go, and he has done. Again, your nerves can work on you. You've got to talk to yourself, especially when you get to lap traffic. Try to calm yourself down, not overdrive the car, not take yourself out by getting into a lap car or spinning the car out in the slick part of the racetrack. So you really got to stay focused right now.
Well, you saw the separation there between he and Joey Saldana. Pittman continuing to work traffic right now. In the 21 car, deep traffic in front of him. He has to dive down low, trying to put Jason Myers and Zach Chappell down a lap, and he got hung up right there. That will allow Joey Saldana to close up just a little bit. Saldana is reeling in right now. Actually, in Dodge City, I guess you'd be roping him in.
Well, that was a nice move of Pittman, though. He saw him go to the top of the racetrack and turn the car to try to get down to the bottom. It looked like he was going to do it, but he had some wheel spin out of turn 2 and did not clear him.
And the lead down to 1.2 seconds the last time around for Darren Pittman. And there is Joey. Joey very much in the picture, but time running out, only a couple to go.
The yellow and white 9 car right there is your second place car.
Saldana probably not going to have enough time to get to the leader, Darren Pittman. Terry McCarl working in the 3rd position. The white flag is in the air one more time around for DP, Darren Pittman.
Now this is where he's really got to talk to himself. Down this back straightaway, one more set of corners. Don't overdrive it. Don't jump the cushion.
And it looks like he's got it locked. The Boot Hill Showdown goes to Darren Pittman. Joey Saldana ends up in 2nd. Terry McCarl, after his win at Knoxville, brings it home 3rd. Tim Schaefer started 10th. He finishes 4th. And a good run for the King, Steve Kinzer, tonight in 5th. So Darren Pittman getting the win. He's been good historically on tracks about this size. It seems to suit his comfort level quite a bit. Of course, some luck involved tonight in the pill draw and getting to start up front in the dash. But like we said, with your luck, you have to have some skill, and he's proven it right there.
Well, the preparation and opportunity meet, that's the definition of luck, and they've hit it right tonight. They've had some bad luck, good for the whole crew. Now they just got to make it to the scales and weigh this race car.
So we'll go to a break. We'll come back and check the official order of finish and hear from the happy winner, Darren Pittman of Owasso, Oklahoma, the winner tonight at Dodge City.
He relies on the best possible parts, including a crane cam and valve train components.
I'm a longtime Crane Cams customer. Our engine builder, Ron Shaver, also uses and recommends Crane. Crane gives us the power to run at the front of the pack and the reliability to do it week after week.
Crane also manufactures a complete line of camshafts, roller rockers, and ignition components for street applications. Visit our website for details.
Our Dodge City winner, but Brad Doty not without some close calls in traffic. There was one right there.
He was in heavy lap traffic at times, clears a couple cars there. Now he tries to go back around the outside of the lap car. Stevie Smith does so cleanly in 3 and 4. Look at that now, coming up on a front straightaway, wide open racetrack in front of him right now.
The 3rd win of the year for Darren Pittman. Look at it in slow motion. You can see how that car kind of shakes and bakes up there against the cushion.
Well, it's never as easy from up in the grandstands, it is sitting in a race car, and you can see the car working there and the driver working hard to take the checkered flag.
24 top 10s in the first 34 events on the year for Darren Pittman, the driver of the 21. Pittman, of course, last year's Williams Grove Summer Nationals winner. He won the Eagle Nationals last year. So he had a good year last year, and things starting to get rolling now for DP.
Absolutely. These guys work so hard. The crew members, you see his wife there throwing her arms up. But the crew, everybody works so hard on this grueling World of Outlaws schedule. Makes it all worthwhile to pull into victory lane.
Brent Gleno Inglis from Brisbane, Australia, and Eugene Bingo Jenkins from Milton, Pennsylvania, two of the guys that work really hard on that number 21 car, sharing in the victory dance down there in the winner's circle. And Sean Buckley is down in the winner's circle, and he's going to get a word with Darren Pittman, our winner tonight from Dodge City Raceway Park.
Yeah, guys, he's getting out of the race car right now. Darren Pittman, a fantastic run here tonight. He's very excited here. He's going to do a tire dance. You get him out the wing, you just do the tire dance. Hey, come on over here. A fantastic run here tonight at Dodge City. You won the heat race, you won the dash, and you win the Boot Hill Showdown here on ESPN2. Fantastic run. Let's talk about the domination here.
You never dominate these races. Nobody ever complains about starting up front, and my boss told me the outside whenever he started all night long, so he said run second in the dash, and I thought that's awfully hard to do because I think if I try to run second, I'll end up running third. So we just had to win the dash, and I didn't know if we'd get the start, and we got by Joey, and man, my car was awesome, and I tell you what, my car was getting tighter and tighter the longer the race went. I didn't know if I had a tire going down or what, but I was glad to see it checkered them last couple laps. But I don't know if we pulled away or not, but the car was just excellent all night long. It was good last night. Just struggled to go forward because it was pretty fast. So this is an awesome win for us, number 3, and hopefully we can get a few more.
Owasso, Oklahoma is only about 5 hours down the road over there in Oklahoma, but this is kind of your home track here for the TV races. Your 3rd win on the year. Hopefully this can give you guys some momentum.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you never know when your last one's when it's going to be. So to be able to win, we're going to have a good time tonight. Unfortunately, we have to race on Monday, so it's a short time to celebrate. But this is close to home. Donnie Woodburn, my old car owner and sponsors here. My car owner, Reeve Kruk, team manager, Wayne, my entire crew. My mom and dad are here. My aunt and uncle don't ever get to see us race. So, like I said, it's 5 hours, but it's as close as we get to Tulsa, so it's a good win.
The Super Clean Summer Money Round 2 winner, Darren Pittman.
Well, and his job is never done, Brad. 5 hours to get here from his home in Tulsa, and then they've got to turn around and have a deep drive because there's a race on Monday.
He talked about the race on Monday. It's Rapid City, South Dakota, and it's 600 miles from here. Probably 12 to 14-hour drive with these rigs to get up there for Monday night. So, yeah, they're not going to be able to sell it. You see there, I can't have any champagne. We got a long drive.
No doubt about it. The grueling World of Outlaws schedule. Terry McCarl over to congratulate Darren Pittman. You got a quick glance of Darren's wife, Mandy, jumping there in to give Darren a kiss. Happiness all the way around when you win a race. Let's take a look at the results. Darren Pittman getting the win. Joey Saldana, another solid run. That'll help him in the point standings. Terry McCarl finishes 3rd. And you see Craig Delansky 16th up to 7th, Brad.
Good run for him. We documented that throughout the race, him charging to the front.
Donnie Schatz ends up in the top 10 tonight. The prime mover, though, was Kerry Madsen, our KSE hard charger. From 22nd to 12th, he advanced 10 spots, Brad.
Good run for him. We've talked about the bad luck he's had, especially with the left rear corner of that race car. So just to bring it home in one piece is an accomplishment for that team.
And poor Jason Martin, the hitman, is going to be shown 25th on your screen tonight. He started in the number 9 position but had some bad luck. Hate to see it in that way for the local.
Yeah, to have a power steering problem like they had, to spring a leak like that, that's just something that doesn't happen, and bad luck for that local team.
Well, Darren Pittman was the winner, but what about the rest of the podium finishers? One is Casey Kane's driver. The other one won our race at Knoxville last week.
And we're standing here with 2nd and 3rd place Joey Saldana and Terry McCarl. Joey running 2nd here tonight. You kind of got a smile on your face.
Yeah, it's pretty good for us. We've been struggling here lately. We've been qualifying really bad, and tonight we finally got a good qualifying run and got a good run in the dash, and got our open joist JEI up front tonight, and it's good to have our Mopar running good here. We kind of struggled a little bit yesterday, so definitely changed things around and got to run a lot better.
Racetrackers Racing, is a little slicked up, hard packed. In qualifying, you end up qualifying very well on the bottom side of the racetrack. That's kind of where you liked it tonight.
For qualifying, it just seemed like I went out early enough that going out and running the bottom was good, and then later it kind of got bad. But Darren actually went out late and turned a good lap. So he was good all night, and we just have to get a little better, and hopefully next race we have a shot at winning.
Reeling in the 15 each week?
Yeah, just trying.
All right, Joey Saldana finishing second. Now here's the guy here trying to cause some interesting. He won last week. Now he's trying to do some crazy stuff behind camera. But old Terry McCarl here, running third tonight. Fantastic runner tonight, bud. Talk about it.
You're a true professional, by the way. I don't know. This ESPN2 has been great for the big game tree stands car. We picked off a wing, that's last week at Knoxville, and had a solid night all night tonight. I think we had a shot there at the end, maybe for Joey if we had another lap. But we're happy to get second in these or third in these deals. And like I said, like we were running earlier, the ESPN I think has been lucky for us.
Yeah, this track that kind of played in your favor. Had 2 grooves.
Yeah, they did a great job on the track. Went out, redid it, worked it, and then pushed the tires in right before the A main, if you look, and created some moisture down there and threw it back up so it didn't lay rubber. The track guys and Don Gravy did a great job of making them calls, and we appreciate it. I think they put on a great show for the fans.
Another good run for the number 24 T-Mac, Terry McCarl.
Next Sunday, look for the World of Outlaws powered by Q Super Clean Summer of Money from Fargo, North Dakota. It's the 30 Eastern Time. Well, it's time to get out of Dodge. We hope you enjoyed the show. For more on the World of Outlaws, visit worldofoutlaws.com. For Sean Buckley in the pits, Brad Doty, and every person on the large staff, we congratulate Darren Pittman, our winner from Dodge City. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.